This podcast is a work of fiction. Names, characters, places, and incidents are all the product of the author's imagination and are used fictitiously. Any character that happens to share the same name as an acquaintance of the author, past or present, is purely coincidental and is in no way an actual account involving that person. Any other resemblance to actual events, locales, or persons, living or dead, is coincidental.
This is Faction. Faction is a story that is based on real places and events, but the characters and storyline is considered fiction. It isn't actually made up, but the witnesses or proof that supports the story isn't around or just doesn't want to be found.
Faction is an adult podcast and shouldn't be in earshot of anyone under the age of 18. This was recorded in front of a live audience.
Oh yeah, I know that fucking dirt leg. Nikki? She's your cousin?
Yeah,
Yep. Got a lot of good memories, that girl.
she's a lot older than me, though.
Well, I'll tell you what, she's a bag whore.
That's what I hear.
But her face is kind of pretty. Boo, but she has rug burns on both knees and the bottoms of her feet are dirty. I seen needle tracks on her arms as she stood out by the street. So I stopped to take a picture because I thought it looked kind of neat. Now, when I pulled up in my van, I was feeling kind of shy. But she jumped in, flashed a toothless grin, and these big titties caught my eye. Well, that's when she said, "Hey, my name's Nikki, and you might think you're slick, but I need a ride to Chapman Town, and I'm willing to suck your dick." So I said, "Hey, my name's Wado. You might think I'm rich, but I got a gun. I'm a 5-day spun, parolee on the run." As I peeled out towards the river, my tires were smoking as I grabbed a gear. She had a look on her face of a big mistake and pure unbridled fear. With one hand on the wheel, cruising 90 through a pouring rain, I pulled out a rig full of white boy dope and shot it in my vein. And as we came upon that river road, my dick about halfway hard, I hit the brakes and skidded to a stop in the middle of a farmer's yard. I said, "Get out, you nasty bitch. It's time to pay the devil his due." So I reached under the seat and I came back out with a king-size bottle of lube. Well, she threw open the door to make her move, then she turned on her heel and ran. So I fired it up and I drove her ass down in that stolen minivan. Now, when I backed up, I could tell she was stuck, lying face down in the grass. So I jumped out with a loaded crank dick and it was pointed straight at her ass. Well, if she seen it coming, I don't know, but I rammed her on a 5-step run. Then I dug my boots into the ground and started to have my fun. Yeah, I fucked her long and I fucked her hard, through the mud, the blood, and the beer. And when I looked down, she had cracked a smile, but in her eye was one lone tear. So I grabbed her by her hair, then I punched her in the mouth, right before I blew my stack. Then I stood up and I pointed down the road. I said, "Bitch, you're walking back." And as I turned to leave, she yells, "Hey, Wado, you're a crazy motherfucker, that's for sure. But just remember that my name's Nikki, and I just gave you some shit that has no cure."
Oh.